Personally, a scary movie to me is a heist movie because I don't like to see a bank lose money.
That is not your joke. There's no way. Is that your joke? Did you just make
Yeah, I
that
just
up?
wrote. I just.
Fuck you. That's funny.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Great first episode, guys. We can leave.
Well, thank you so
That's
much.
it. All right. No.
Ted Kaszinsky was right.
All right. What's he do?
Huh?
What's he do? What's
He's a
his?
software engineer.
Oh, good. You didn't get a tech guy. You get a tech sales guy because tech sales guys is. They got the. You want to talk about retards? I mean, those dudes. Because I don't know. There's no dude in tech sales that I know that is like highly accomplished. Like they all have a communications degree from the same public university.
Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah.
I should do that.
Yeah, you should. I should do it. Like, we can't sell our souls.
Take tech sales together.
Yeah, we can't sell our souls to the algorithm just yet. Our man himself. Are we recording? Have we been recording?
Like,
okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. The man himself said freedom and technological process are not compatible. So look, I'm not trying to worship his whole.
That is the name
but
of one of the headers.
those are some crazy people have nuggets of wisdom here and there. Okay.
This whole thing is very coherent and good.
Okay, where do you want to start? Because I left on him tackling the end of freedom due to technological advancement.
I know. Well, I feel like a lot of it is almost like there's so much like psychology behind him too that I don't even want to get into. But just like I haven't read this in a long time, so I reread it for this podcast, and I actually took notes because I was bored at work.
Good.
But I was just thinking like you really you kind of don't have to read the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because like by the end of every paragraph, you're like, okay.
Do you think he was really red pilled?
No, he's I don't think he's really he's sort of a centrist and also just hates all of it.
Yeah.
And you know what he reminds me of is like how in high school I was never goth or like emo or anything like that. I guess goth was like passe by that point, but like I was never emo and I always looked down on the emo kids because I was like, well, because I was like alternative-y and I was like, but I'm like
spiritual.
They make sadness like their identity, but I'm sad and I don't. And I feel like that's Ted Kaszinsky to leftists. Is he's like, oh, you guys think that you're upset about stuff, but I'm actually
and I think that's what kind of evolved into like quasi libertarianism.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
like just half-assed libertarianism. I think
the problem with anything like this is, dumb people are gonna read it and then they're gonna have thoughts.
Yes.
Whereas I actually think Ted Kaszinsky, as MK Ultra as he was, is like smart. He's like a smart Polish boy.
Yeah, people from a young age, because I read about him early on. He was like a walking brain. He was very analytical. Yeah. And dude, his brother ratted him the fuck out.
Yeah. Imagine having that distinctive a writing style, though.
Yeah.
And somebody's like, "Oh, that's
my brother. That's him for sure." Like, so
that's him droning on.
Do you think Ted Kaszinsky could have gotten away with it if he was an only child? A serious question.
See, I think if he was an only child, he would have had a better job. Like he would have picked a better. What does he call them? The activities.
Arsonist or
no.
What?
He calls them
what is
surrogate activities.
Surrogate
I
activities.
think he would have had like more of a drive for like attention.
Okay.
I can attest to that.
Okay. It just turned to blue now.
What's doing it?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, the colors of the Israeli flag. Thank you. No. It did. Anyway, I'm just distracted, very ADHD-ish. But no. What another thing that I remembered was him being MK Ultra by this, but a lot of this doctor. What was
actually MK Ultra by the CIA?
Yes, this is still used by this is still used today.
Yeah.
So
what happens?
Oh my God. No, I had a really good note I wrote about this.
Find that note.
Dude, this is what his therapist. Sorry, this is what the doctor at Harvard said to him, because there was a lot of Clockwork Orange shit going on with him.
Okay.
Like he would pry his eyes open and make him watch like war movies and violence and shit like that.
I forgot about exactly. It was literally that though. Yeah. Wasn't that part of
just constant, just gunfire and just literally like basically graining in PTSD.
Well, it's kind of like it's kind of like I think why he was so well. Okay, I have like two things about it. So I either think like, and I don't care to look into it. Okay. So I just am gonna forever wonder. Yeah. Is it like that he was just like particularly ahead of his time because of like almost like that constant stream of information, almost like we have now today, and that's why he was able to observe this? Or is this just something people have thought about society forever?
I think he was very in control and in tune with his inner monologue, and that was dangerous to academia. I don't know if it was dangerous, but like psychiatrically, people wanted to analyze that, and I think exploit it even too.
No, I think that too. But do you think because of that experience being like exposed to that much information forcibly with his eyes open was not that different than like looking at TikTok, for instance?
Oh my gosh!
Do you think that?
Yeah, it's just.
Is that the dumbest? I feel like that's a really dumb point to make.
It's a content farm, obviously, and it's it's just terrifying how he predicted this, and this is very Orwellian society that he knew what was coming and was still very off the grid, and it concerned me that like nobody else took him aside, or there was no other like people in his life. Like I watched the documentary about him on Netflix too. There was nobody that like really gave a fuck about him. Like at least in the Dahmer thing.
He's probably really unpleasant.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. From reading that, he definitely was very self-righteous. You know what it has? It has dictator energy.
A little, but he also like hates power.
Yeah, that's the duality of it.
But don't dictators also always like kind of their?
Well, they pretend to not like it. Like good dictators who stay in power for a very long time, like really good fascists know how to stay in. I'm gonna be on like Bolsonaro stayed in for a very long time, and then now it's all run by. Though. Yeah, he's they loved him. The Brazilians loved him, even though Brazilians very homophobic and all that other shit. What?
Swag.
He does have a swag.
I don't use that word.
I know.
But he has it.
He does.
He's very charming.
Dude, this is weird. I still play ball at NC State sometimes. And there's a Brazilian guy, and he's like, why'd they get rid of Bolsonaro? He was a real man. Now we have...
Yeah.
There's a conspiracy. Apparently the new guy's a trans woman or whatever. They don't believe he has like a penis.
Oh, yeah.
Which is fucking insane. I mean, like,
but I don't know, though, because I feel like Brazilians are different. Like, they just look into it.
Yeah, is South America very hyper masculine culture, Arturo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you're asking Arturo.
Sorry,
who knows way better than
yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Okay.
I don't know, though. I feel like all my South American friends say that.
Okay.
Yeah, but they like it.
And they got.
What do you think?
The CIA really screwed them over too, but we also recruited their scientists.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have screwed over a lot of people.
Yeah. Very, 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 very political.
Some time in Israel.
What? Were you asking me that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not afraid to talk about this.
We're gonna talk about
Okay, yeah. What would you like to know?
No,
I like this
we gotta stay on
cross-examiner.
Ted K.
Okay.
You
okay,
you get distracted. I'll reel you back.
Okay, give me some sort of like bars.
I got something for you.
Okay.
In some of the things that they said that were what did he predict right? It says one quote is, "The moral code of our society is so demanding that no one can think, feel, and act in a completely moral way." Do you think that's true today?
I remember that. The moral code is fractured. Another thing, he criticizes leftists a lot with like nonprofit organizations. I don't know if that relates to the moral code, but I think a lot of those. I've worked for a nonprofit, and I can tell you they do not give a fuck about who they're helping at all, and they'll pay you $15 an hour to shut the fuck up and tutor whoever. 15.
Are you guys hiring? Come on.
You can work at a fast food place for 15 an hour.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
I know, but you don't have to have a bachelor's degree to make $15 an hour.
Okay, but go on to it.
All right. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to like quote unquote help people, you're not going to make a lot of money. And there's this very like leftist idea. There's this very leftist capitalist ideology to where you can help people and still make six figures. That is not the truth. You can't make. I think there's a cutoff. I don't know where the cutoff is, but it's like near minimum wage. Personally, in my experience, I don't know if Ted K kind of preaches that, but
that I feel like is definitely true. I don't know if that's. I think leftists. It sounds like have and have not changed.
Yeah.
Like when he talks about like anarchists, I think that's more in line with like leftists now who are very much like against the idea that anybody who makes more than $15 an hour can affect any sort of
change.
Or sorry, not if you can't affect change no matter what is the truth. I mean, unless you can like get into Congress's pockets.
Yeah.
There goes my press-on nail. They're the nice kind that they advertise to on Instagram.
Yeah.
Ted Kaszinsky would love that.
I mean, do you think Congress is sorry?
Sorry. I do think that like, is it too close now? I was like, I feel like it's too close now.
Like you're very.
I know, because I kind of am a yeller.
Let me do something here.
Help.
I'm gonna move it so that it's actually
I like that Arturo's now your handler.
here.
It's like, this is what you need to do. Now say bad things about Israel to get Harrison angry.
Is that fine? But I move so much.
Yeah, let's see. Let's give it some bars.
Oh.
Hello?
Yeah, let's get
Is it fine?
It's good, yeah.
Okay.
Just get excited.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Wait. My one thing with that comment
The moral code.
is that okay. There's like this such a like, and I feel like he makes a lot of these like statements where he's like, it's like a half statement, which we all do that sometimes. It's fine, whatever. But it's like, okay, moral code, like what? I mean,
We're yes-anding him, essentially. We're like, yes, we know that our moral code is fractured.
No.
What's the solution?
No, I'm not though. I'm
Okay.
saying like without a society you can't have a set of ethics or morals at all because people establish those.
Yeah.
Like in some cultures it's acceptable to fuck your sister sometimes, but in ours you're
Don't
not
you mean make love?
supposed to.
I'm fucking so fucking.
No, to fuck her.
Okay.
You've been online
so-
lately?
No, I haven't. I mean, I don't. I think porn is also.
She's stuck in the dryer, and you have to fuck her.
This is what's concerning about this. 'Cause this is why tech and this is. You know what my dad's background is in the adult industry, managing an adult video store. I think porn definitely psyops men to be. I don't know if it's just men, but I think it psyops people in general to be weaker and to be submissive to a person on a screen.
Yeah.
You know, it definitely. And this is probably very pretentious and very corny to say, but I think you'll agree with me here. Love, the act of it, romance, connection, and intimacy. Those are not psyops, or if they are psyops, they're really good psyops to have.
Ted Kaczynski agrees with you.
Really?
Yes.
Oh fuck.
That's not a surrogate activity. Love and connection are necessary.
Great. I'm
Pursuits.
so glad.
That's beautiful.
I'm so glad.
that you are such a good Jewish boy. Of course you think that.
But I'm not. I'm not that traditional. I'm not that traditional. You know,
I
I'm with the
didn't say
chicks.
you were.
You know.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with you. And I think like porn has really fucked up everyone's brain a lot. I mean, a lot of people think that,
Yeah.
like, I feel like it.
Tate talks about it too.
No, I literally feel like a lot of the time, like, a lot of us feel like sex that is like in a loving relationship is a turnoff.
Boring and daunting. It's a chore.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to be like, oh.
And I know the algorithms are watching me because they're like, are you having problems with ED or whatever? It's like, no, my dick is fucking, it's still there. You know what I mean?
Still
it's got a
there.
presence. It's Shaquille O'Neal in the paint, dude. Still, you know what I mean?
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
Did you bring me on here just to tell me that your dick works?
No. I'm saying this for any sponsors like Blue Chew or like for Hims, you can kick rocks. All right, this one is fine. All right.
I promise I'll pick up that press on.
Yeah.
Nice. I might need to borrow your glue.
I want to just out of curiosity, what does Kaszinsky say behalf of queer people or the LGBT community? Does he say anything analyzing that?
He does go on a long thing about how leftists, a lot of the time, as he describes them, you'll often find them advocating for gay people, for black people.
Yeah, animals as well.
Yes. All groups, a lot of the time he says they are not a part of, but that they don't actually benefit these groups at all. They end up just pushing them into narrow definitions and then actually admonishing them for not falling in line with that. And that actually causes harm to them. But as far as his own opinions go, I don't know how much he cared about that.
I kind of agree with him. I think I'm seeing something more with like fat people and body positivity.
Yeah. You're seeing something more with fat people?
Yeah.
More of what?
Like being fat doesn't include any health risks and shit like that. I've been seeing a lot of like concerning social media posts, and I was like, there is a health risk factor to being fat. It's called like obesity. It's called like sleep apnea. Like there's so many things, and this person looked at me, but like that all doesn't come from being fat. I feel like I'm in a dumb argument, like 2 + 2 = 4. You know what I mean? Like it's healthier to like lose weight and to not be overweight, right?
Yeah.
I feel like because also in America, we have an abundance of food and convenience. You know, everything from all those seed oils to, that good sugar. That good sweet sugar. But yeah, no, I feel like the body positivity movement in this country is definitely damning to us. Because you don't want a fat military. You telling me you see a cop come to your car, you can outrun that motherfucker.
I do want to be able to outrun the cop.
Yeah,
I will tell you that much.
Yeah. But like that's where there's
would never. But the fact that it's possible is comforting.
Yeah. If Paul Blart is protecting my country, we're fucked.
Well, he's a sweetheart.
Paul Blart? Yeah.
So actually we're not.
No, we're not.
You wouldn't do anything to anybody. Did you see that movie?
I'd rather personally, in terms of authority figures in Adam Sandler and Kevin James movies, I would personally pick the Zohan.
Which one's that?
Don't mess with the Zohan.
Is that
It's the Sandler movie, yeah.
He's the Jewish superhero.
It is. It is a Jewish superhero, yeah.
I have
He is. It is.
I like different lowbrow stuff.
I just want
I think I appreciate that. I appreciate because it's weird because I feel like comedy can go highbrow, and I still appreciate lowbrowness because I know I came from trash. Like not trash, but like I know I've been around those communities. Those communities. No.
Jewish people?
Not Jewish people, just trash. Like trash adjacent. Like I've had friends who grew up in trailer parks. I've dated people that, that were on food stamps.
Listen, we all have friends
that are poorer than
that
us.
grew up in trailer parks.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. Put
that point on
yeah.
wheels. Drive
Put that in your
away.
meth pipe and smoke it.
He's like, that's only in President Shabbos dinner, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, you should be the next Shabbos school.
All right, I actually went to a school where guns were allowed in the parking
That's
lot.
sick, dude.
Because people had to hunt before
know.
school. All right?
Yeah.
So,
why aren't you with those guys?
because is that just? Because I was like,
You're not fat enough. That's
'cause
why.
I was like, I'm going to New York. And I'm gonna,
yeah, main character syndrome.
and I'm gonna do this. And then I got to New York and I was like,
Oh,
this is really scary.
yeah.
It
Dude in a
actually
puffer
was.
jacket's trying to stab me. I saw a rat in the subway that was bigger than my foot. I'm leaving.
No, I
Yeah.
I didn't find New York scary. I wanted it to be scarier, but we're not talking about that right
Yeah.
now. Though I will talk about my
Yeah.
life for a long time.
You like to be scared a lot? Is that like something that
What?
makes you feel
Please
alive?
don't do
Like,
anything. I don't want to.
Are you like? Cause like, are you into scary movies? Cause
yeah,
I'm not.
they're fine. They're never scary.
Okay.
They're never
Yeah.
scary unless you're by yourself
Mm.
or like a little high, which is already scary to me.
I was just thinking.
Already makes me scared.
Personally, a scary movie to me is a heist movie because I don't like to see a bank lose money.
That is not your joke. There's no way. Is that your joke? Did you just make
Yeah,
that
I
up?
just wrote. I just.
Fuck you. That's funny.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Great first episode, guys. We can leave.
Well, thank you so
That's
much.
it. All right. No.
Ted Kaszinsky was right.
All right. So we've gotten that on Ted Kaczynski about love
we
being
were
a
saying
psyop.
something, but
And we were
it's
talking about the
dead
LGBT
now.
community. We're
Right.
talking about his activism and how we can pigeonhole and not help them.
You were asking me about fat people.
Fat people.
I
Does he talk about fat people?
No.
Okay. Because
But he does talk about
yeah.
how human, like how our basic needs
Yeah.
fall
Yeah.
to like, they're already so met.
Yeah.
And then we have all these other desires on top of them that they become secondary, like not even secondary. They become just not even a thought to
Yeah.
the point where you're actually becoming more machine-like. Like we're becoming more machine-minded.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that's how
I remember
read it.
that. I remember that. This is a very random reference, but do you know who the Dead Kennedys are? I think there's a song
band?
that references Kaczynski actually.
What does it say?
The song is called "Soup is Good Food."
That's true.
Have you heard of this song? Okay, I wish there would be some.
I like good.
Okay, good music.
things.
Yeah. It's a shame. It was
I'm
very
kidding.
very hyper political punk rock.
That sounds awesome.
Not really.
Oh, it was
for the time.
Oh, it was different than
Hyper-political.
other punk rock. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was.
It was
political.
like they would
Okay.
talk about like California turning into like the Nazi regime
Right.
and shit like that.
boy, they were
So oh boy,
sort of.
do you think in the like 80s? I think because that's when the crack epidemic was going on and the CIA was like really fucking with South Central.
All right. Then.
No,
They might have been-
leave it alone.
They might
Not
have
my
been-
backyard, right? Is that your?
Give that crack to people outside of my
Are
neighborhood.
you like Oprah Winfrey? Like check out into your seats. You get a rock. You get a rock. Everyone gets a rock. That's a little fucked up, Lamb.
No, I'd keep it all for myself.
No, you
Actually,
wanna be addicted
I'm
to
glad you
crack.
brought this up because I was gonna ask all of you. Does anybody have any Adderall I can buy?
Yeah. Do you were you ever like really addicted to drugs? Were you ever like?
No, I don't
Okay.
do that. I always have like a tiny voice in my head that's like, anytime, even if I like smoke weed or drink too much, I'm like, oh, you look like such a loser. Or like,
Really good.
can't-
What about this quote that actually relates directly to what you just said? It says, imagine a society that subjects people to conditions that make them terribly unhappy, that gives them the drugs to take away their unhappiness. Science fiction, it is already happening to some extent in our own society. Instead of removing the conditions that make people depressed, modern society gives them antidepressant drugs. In effect, antidepressants are a means of modifying an individual's internal state in such a way as to enable him to tolerate social conditions that he would otherwise find intolerable.
So true. So true.
So, please repeat that.
Are we
What?
basically being made into cows, docile cows?
Oh yeah, from antidepressants and stuff, so on and so forth.
Well, the docility comes first already with like being like anagonic because of how society is, whatever,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. And also pushing the human side of humanity, whatever. Sorry, everyone. I've had like kava. Not you, everyone. You guys know what I'm like. I'm talking to our audience now.
Okay.
But anyway, I think like it's so funny because like when like you remember when like 2016 Twitter when like and I don't know if either of you remember this either, but like when like that whole idea, and I don't know how long this idea has been around. I imagine maybe like the 90s. I have no idea. But that like that depression and things like that are due to a chemical imbalance, and we all just accepted that idea.
Yeah.
We're like, oh yeah, it must be that.
Yeah.
But like,
Some
actually,
people are just
there's
different.
there's no science on that.
Oh my
And,
fucking God.
Really, like that's just made up. Like, and actually, we're fucking with our brain chemistry.
Oh, that makes
even
sense.
More.
Yeah.
And I don't even like. The first time I heard it, like, I was talking to my friend who
Mm-hmm.
goes to this actually very reasonable therapist who does not ever want to put anyone on antidepressants
Shout
for
out
the
to good
most part.
therapists.
The first time I heard this, I was still a little like indoctrinated with that idea. But so I was like, oh, this is a bad therapist because he was saying like most people do not have clinical depression. They
Yeah.
have situational depression. Most people like
Mm-hmm.
don't need to be on antidepressants. And it's so true. And it's
Yeah.
like the reason everybody thinks, speaking of the Adderall thing, the reason everybody thinks that they have ADHD is because of the circumstances that we're
Yeah.
putting ourselves in that are so unnatural. Like
You're
humans aren't
understimulated,
designed-
overstimulated. There has to
You're
be a spectrum. It's
overstimulated. You have
fluid.
too much dopamine in your free time, and then you go to work and you're asked to sit an unnatural amount of time doing something you would never be doing. Like your body is just not designed to do any of this. It's very like
Wow.
I think that's very precious. Thank you for that's a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, that's at the neuroscientific standpoint. It really elaborates like on your brain chemistry, and that sounds very. I feel like
Let
I'm
me
in a
throw
workshop
another
right
one
now.
your way then, if you like that one.
Yeah, I
It
like
says,
that.
it says, those who are most sensitive about politically incorrect terminology are not the average black ghetto dweller, Asian immigrant, abused woman, or disabled person, but a minority of activists, many of whom do not even belong to any oppressed group, but come from privileged strata of society.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Man, I hate to be like the guy on like Fox News to be like, oh, I'm tired of this PC
Which guy?
nonsense. Just
One of them,
I'm
the
afraid
Jewish one.
Shapiro. Like, no, I'm too. I got too much tea to be a Shapiro, so you can't hit me with that.
You could never keep up with Shapiro.
I cannot. No, he's so fast. What does he do? Like, how does he keep speaking so fast? Like, do they wind? I think he's a toy doll. I think they wind him up before they go into like a press release, and then they just let it go like a race car, like on
I
Christmas
have a
Day.
theory.
What?
You know how Hitler was on like all those like
Amphetamines, yeah.
Do you think they gave the state of Israel like a store of all his drugs?
Yeah, no, I probably they gave a lot of IDF soldiers stimulants and shit like that. They actually give them
You're
ecstasy.
gonna have to.
They give them ecstasy to deal with their PTSD. They do. That is fucking
Oh,
look
to
that
do
shit
with-
up. That's true. That they give them
that probably helps.
Yeah, no,
Is
they
that why
do.
Gal Gadot's so fried?
Probably. Her brain is fucking fried eggs right now. But we can divulge in the Zionism thing, but I do want to talk about antidepressants real quick and medication because I was on Wellbutrin. I've been on Ritalin. I got off that shit. Now I can finally get like this very, another more personal thing. I can get hard.
Back to his boner, everybody.
Yeah. It's like
you
John
should call
Cena.
this show boner.
It's like
'Cause you brought
No.
up your
The boner
big
manifesto,
boner.
you know?
It is the Boner Manifesto. That should be the title of it. No, but it really does. I don't think the pharmaceutical industry has learned to manage, like to stop. They don't know how to manage hormones in men and women at all.
Okay, well, that's another thing too. Is I feel like actually, that's why so many people have like women have PCOS and like hormone issues
Yeah.
because like they just throw shit at you. Well, it fixes its surface.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
20 years later.
So I have an
we can
antidepressant
figure
and I
this
also
out.
have a Blue Chew, or I also have the Cialis or
Well,
whatever.
that's what Kaszinsky is talking about with like when things are driven by money. Because that's the weird thing too. He's not a leftist, but he's certainly
He's
anti-capitalist.
anti-pharmaceutical industry as well, I think.
Well,
I think
because
a lot of people
if
should be.
everything's driven by profit and the benefit of machines and making things like faster, then of course human life has like virtually zero value.
Wow. Yeah, they're literally just cash cows to monetize off of.
Well,
For now,
Excuse me?
to add to that, I think it goes, and sorry to interrupt, but he says the concept of mental health in our society is defined largely by the extent to which an individual behaves in accord with the needs of the system, and does so without showing signs of stress.
True. Jeez.
Basically, your entire generation, you know?
Yeah, no, I remember that
This
part.
was in 95. I mean,
That's a good
Yeah.
worker. Sit down, shut up, don't cry. It is definitely that. And there was a reference, another fucking punk rock lyric that I remember, or I think it was Pavlov's like cat or whatever, talking about ringing the bell, clocking into work, basically a metaphor for that. And being conditioned to wake up, make money, and then die. Just the concept of having something you didn't before. It's this concept of materialism.
yeah. Well, this goes into his point of like, okay, it used to be that you woke up and worked all day because if you didn't, you would starve and die. And now it's like kind of like that, but it's not connected enough.
You gotta stay update. You gotta have the same
Your
subscriptions.
brain, it leads to mental illness because your brain doesn't get that. It's just, and you enter the world already with like, well, I have food and I have this.
Yeah. Food,
Like,
water, shelter.
Because it's like, yeah, if you don't go to work, you will die probably. Maybe not. I mean, you might get on a program or something, whatever. But like, on top of that, it's like you have to go to work and that's how all your needs are met pretty much. And any idiot can do that. He talks about that basically. But then on top of that, you have all these other desires that you're just kind of told to have.
Yeah.
And then it's sort of like, but you can't escape that either. Like you can try to go out in the woods like him, but then you end up bombing a bunch of professors. So it's just like, it doesn't really, like it's hard for your brain to rationalize that. So you become fucking mentally ill.
Yeah. I kind of want to, this is a very dumb premise, but like, what if like Jordan Peterson like received a bomb and is like mail?
I'm sure he has.
Probably. You know what? Yeah, actually, yeah.
He definitely has someone screening his mail.
Yeah.
You should.
Yeah. That if you have that level of like not prestige, but like
What's
people
he
know
up
you.
to? Like,
I think I watched a little bit of him on like Rogan, but he got rid of he had a bad anxiety medication addiction. I think his like wife or
I
someone
don't
important
trust
passed.
that story fully. If you want to talk about
Really?
another conspiracy, yeah, I think that story's weird.
Okay, because I don't know him that well. I just know him as like kind of who was that Japanese woman that like told like people to like clean up and organize? Do you remember her?
Marie Kondo.
Marie Kondo. Yeah, I think that's just Marie Kondo for men, right?
Yeah,
Like, no one's really thought of that. Like, hey, you should stop masturbating. Stop, clean that cum off your stomach and fucking clean your room. Was
That's good
basically his
advice.
whole MO. And then he got into like, oh, trans be like, you can't say that. Because like he wanted Canada to be like America. And Canada's not like America. Canada's pretty.
Give us your best Jordan Peterson, because that was pretty good.
Okay.
I have an okay one too. Oh, gee, well,
Trans
you know,
people.
the radical left is talking about trans people again, and I won't say it. I won't say they're attractive.
Ben, I can't kiss you here. Ben, my wife's here. Ben, you know how I feel about this.
Man, the last time a man had his finger up my ass was...
Oh my god. Mr. Peterson, it'll be really quick, I promise. I promise. 5 minutes tops.
If I were to put my finger in your butt, it wouldn't be gay because
Because it's my left hand, and God doesn't see the left hand. He only sees the right hand. Because God is always right.
That's right.
Shit. Do you want to transfer into our next subject? Or do you want to continue talking about Ted Kaczynski? What do you feel more comfortable
I
as my
think
guest?
it can all flow into each other. But yeah, transfer into your next episode.
Okay.
I mean, how much time have we...
How much time do we have left?
Should we do Jordan Peterson longer?
Another 20 minutes. I think this is a perfect way to end. I want to unload any questions. Actually, I want this to connect to the Israel thing. What does he talk about international conflict with? Like when he talks about, I don't think he does talk about Israel or Palestine, but he does talk conflicts in general. Does he talk about foreign policy at all?
Does he talk about...
Yeah.
I feel like this is very like...
This is mostly constituting towards America. This is very isolationist focused, which I do like. And that's why when people ask me if I'm a huge...
I bet.
What?
What were you going to say?
No, it's fucking. I feel like
No, go.
this is very. All right, I don't like it when you pause like that. It fucking overwhelms me. It overstimulates me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I need
I'll
my
stay
fucking. I need my fucking
unstimulated.
Clodabin or whatever. No. All right. So basically, it's very isolationist, and I think I'm quoting a bunch of people in this, but Tim Dillon has said that like it's weird that the conservatives were very non-isolationist when it came to invading Iraq, invading all these different places, invading Afghanistan.
That is super
And
weird.
now it's all Democrats like, we need to help Ukraine. Ukraine's really important to us. And
luckily, I'm crazy enough that I think I can explain both.
yes, please do. Please do. Please explain. Please explain the pendulum shift in our culture.
All right. Well, as far as Iraq is concerned,
Okay.
money. That was
Oh.
about money.
Oh.
The Ukraine war is a proxy war. It's an extension of the Cold War. The Dems have a big problem with Russia because, frankly, democratic values are very Western. Actually, strangely enough, American conservatism, well, ideally, the old conservatives are a little more like, conservative, which the rest of the world actually is. America's the most liberal place in the world. It is. No, it is. Culturally,
Culturally.
in thought, in practice, yes.
Really?
Most liberal place in the world. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because like Portugal's pretty like fucking. You can
No.
buy like Coke off the street there.
But can you
But
say
talk to the
wild shit on a podcast?
No, you can't. You can't. Freedom of speech
Or
rules
have a
all.
gun
It's the First Amendment.
by
Yeah.
walking into a store.
We love the amendments.
America is the most
Troops
liberal
can't stay
place
with me though.
in the world. We still have conservative people, but our conservatives are nowhere near the conservatives anywhere else.
No, they wish they were. They
Right.
do.
So, when you have like, what's scary about China or Russia is that, well, China is its own conversation. Never mind.
It
But
is.
Russia,
I love China. I'm speaking the microphone, so I want to say good things. I think we should take a moment. Like
China's
2 3
cool.
minutes. China's great.
I like that guy that drinks on Twitter. You know him?
Yeah,
He like
who?
lights the drink on fire.
Oh,
and
yeah,
He
yeah.
like lights a cigarette with
Yeah,
it. He
yeah.
has sunglasses.
Yeah, they have a lot of Muslims over there, right?
Well, it's
Oh,
a whole
that's
thing.
unfortunate. What happened? Where are they?
Fear by the day.
It's a
you
good
know?
question.
Yeah.
Some of them are in camp.
Yeah. Re-education camps. They're just doing some re-education. That's all right. Let's change the subject. Let's not, because I feel like at this point, like it's just we can hyper criticize the Chinese government for a whole episode.
Okay, yeah, but the Dems,
Okay.
and not even just them, but like, you know how there was that whole thing of like, they couldn't fathom that like Donald Trump got elected,
Yeah.
so they're like, it must have been Russia.
So reactionary.
It must have been Russia.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I think
No.
people actually
No,
elected.
you just
him.
don't talk to your uncle when he voted.
Well, because the thing is like liberals are supposed to be, and Democrats are supposed to be the ones like who are like not taking advantage of the system and not corrupt. But it's gotten to a point where it's like, okay, yeah, not all of them, but a lot of them are lining their pockets,
Yeah.
doing things too. So instead of admit that like, oh, people like can see that and don't like it anymore, why don't we
Why don't we what?
why don't we blame Russia for Donald Trump's election? And then why don't we drag on for 2 years about how January 6th was a big deal?
Yeah,
when
sweep it
literally
under the rug, essentially.
No one in the country gives a fuck that happened. Literally, nobody gives a shit that happened. Do you give a shit that happened?
No, unfortunately,
Do you give a
unfortunately
shit?
I know people that do still think it was a big problem, and
I do
they
too.
believe it was like the last like 9/11.
My mother.
They compare it to 9/11, which like
It's
one
not
person
like
died,
that at
one
all.
person died, and thousands died in like 9/11,
Yeah,
right?
and the thing that's crazy is the person that died is one of the ones they'd want to die. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah.
understand. Like, what's your big deal?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Anyway, so I feel like there's a big issue with Russia because, and probably this is the other thing too, and this is why I'm not like a super like red pilled, like,
Yeah.
is that I'm kind of like, well, people in power, yeah, sure, they're corrupt. That's natural and inevitable in any system. This is the best system that works. And honestly, they do know stuff that I don't know. So let them have their proxy war with Ukraine. Just don't show me any pictures or talk to me about it. Because I don't want to see a bunch of people that look like my dad with like
being look like Swiss cheese. Yeah.
literally like they're blurring out Nazi patches in the
Yeah.
New York Times photos. Like, I don't want to see that. Like,
No.
I just don't. I don't want to
Your
hear
dad's
about
got some Nazi patches on his
No,
leg.
no,
Your dad's Edward
no.
Norton from American History
it. My
X.
dad hates Nazis a lot. They killed his grandmother.
Aw.
But I'm with you. They show all this stuff to Americans. It's like, what the fuck is anybody really doing about it except bitching about it online for clout?
Well, it's
Well, that's his.
it's reactionary. It's just to get the views so the advertisers get lined up and get paid.
But like the loan, everybody turning their fucking picture to the Ukraine flag and also the shit when they ain't doing
Stole the
shit.
Yeah,
Ukraine
that was
flags out
weird.
there. Yeah.
That was really weird.
I remember fucking a Cumtown dude said this. He was like, when I saw the Ukraine flag, I didn't know what the fuck it was. I thought it was a new kind of gay. I was like, they got a new kind of gay now. I was like,
So you listen to come.
yeah, because this is before I had a committed, loving,
Oh.
passionate relationship with a human woman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
I never subscribed to the Patreon, so unlike you guys should subscribe to this Patreon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's,
So what do we have? We have 10, 15 more minutes left.
you can't wait
I mean,
to
we
get
can,
out of
we
talking
can, we
to
can
me.
No,
like,
we-
chop it up. We can always go longer.
We can go
next time.
longer. We can go longer. All right. No, we're not on a time crunch. Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh fuck. No, we're
I'm
good.
excited for us to get to the Patreon because I have an impression of you.
Okay, great. Please do it.
But people need to pay for
Yeah. People need to pay for that. What I wanted to, because we talked a lot about proxy war, international conflicts.
Why am I mouth again instead of just asking you?
Yeah.
You're the one on camera. Yeah.
Please.
I'm like,
My question for you is, what do you think about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? Because 25 people are now dead just in this month alone. Palestinians.
only 25 people have died in that
I think
war.
25 people this year. In like now February, I think 25 or 26 people are now dead. Thank you.
You good? Are you asking?
Yeah, like what if you could solve it? What would you do? If oh, I'm not supposed to say your name.
Can
Can
you
you
start the
remove that?
sentence over? I'm not kidding.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
If Mimolette Burrata.
If Mimolette Burrata. What if you just threw my champagne on my face? Like, how dare you?
That's something Mimolette would do.
Yeah.
She would.
Yeah.
But not in such a kind host's home.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Very polite.
Yeah, I am. I'm a good pourer.
I'm a
Ask your fucking question.
Right, fucking. All right. Actually, shit. I want to actually change the subject on this because mostly,
No, ask
mostly
the question.
Eastern. It's not even a good fucking question. It's
You
very
were
hack and
asking
drawn
them
out.
what they think.
Yeah. Well,
I wanna
I
know.
wanted to know because I wanted to at least highlight Zionism when we first started.
I didn't want anything.
Oh, you didn't want? Did she not? Did she not mention Zionism?
You said we were going to talk about Zionism.
Now, you know what? I kind of want to spite you and change the subject.
Jacob Harrison. What's
No,
your name?
it's Harrison.
It's not
Says
Jacob.
Jacob? That's very not a Jacob.
I'm
Not
kidding.
one of your whores. Not one of your harem of men you keep around.
That was a really bad joke.
I know. I know.
No, my joke
Oh, your joke?
of
Okay.
calling you Jacob.
Oh, what was I fucking
Do you
saying?
get it? Does
No.
that make sense? All right, never. I took a history of Israel class freshman
Oh.
year, so I know a lot of.
Okay. Yeah. My question was, what are they going to do with that like Romanian dude?
Do you not know the story of Jacob?
I'm a bad Jew right now. You gave me some champagne, so I've completely lost all track of.
It's not champagne, Jacob.
I know. What is it, kava?
It's kava. Mediterranean, like you.
Oh, of course. All right, continue. What is the story of Jacob? Enlighten my listeners.
No.
Enlighten our
I'm not gonna
listeners.
explain.
You're not gonna explain it? Is this just
No, you
spite?
didn't
This is
get it.
just spite balling up.
I'm kidding. I want to hear the fucking question.
Okay. So the question originally was, is there any hope for Palestinians? What do Americans do? What side should they take? Or not even that. Like, how do people remain neutral, and how do we keep turning a blind eye to this? That's my question. To literally a genocide going on.
Which side are you on?
It's a Palestinian. I have a Free Palestine hoodie. I should have wore to this. But I'm not like I just don't give money to Israel. That's just how I do it. Like I don't give money to SodaStream or whatever the fuck. They're Israeli companies. Like I try to think.
You haven't
there's.
downloaded Waze.
I haven't downloaded Waze. Is Israeli?
Yeah, that's their GPS
oh yeah, so
system.
they find a Palestinian home. And they
Yep. Literally.
Oh shit.
But it'll tell you if there are
Waze
cops on
sucks.
the way.
Oh, that's good actually. Yeah. It's fucking damn.
I don't use it.
Ah.
I don't like. I find the UX to be belittling. It's like for a child almost. But what do you guys think?
I agree. I won't use it because it does look like a dumb child.
Yes,
It
it's
does.
all round and
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
And it takes longer, you know?
It's in a longer way.
Yeah. No, it takes like more resources.
Dude, once Apple Maps gets the cops, they need to get the cop updated thing with Apple Maps.
They're trying.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
I can look out for cops on my own.
Yeah.
The one question I have
Be like, dear police, I'm a white woman.
now that we're talking about ways, is like anybody that like gives a shit about all these sets elsewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you talked
literally
about this.
Doesn't give a fuck about how many people die in car accidents.
Yeah.
In this
Drunk driving.
And you know, like there are literally, I don't know, we're like fetishizing that everybody's gonna live forever.
Yeah.
Where somebody's gonna die, and it's like I want to know if they would give a shit if they couldn't publicize or talk to anybody about it.
Arturo, I want to agree with you in that. I think people try to monetize their activism a lot, especially on like the internet, because people are like if I say the right thing, some sort of agency that's like pro-Palestinian or pro like choice or pro-life even will fucking give me money to keep spewing the fucking horseshit I barely believe.
That does happen.
Mhm.
But people also like social capital.
Oh yeah, the
you
social
know?
credit score.
Is it
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
It feels better than money.
It
Let me
does.
tell you that. But
Really?
everybody's
You think
like,
so?
ooh, you're right.
Adoration. I think fame is very detrimental to psyches, obviously. But,
Probably.
yeah.
But I think if you're already like seeking that or like in line with something, like maybe all of us, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
Not even seeking fame, but just doing something that's a potential outcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
there's something wrong with
people
you.
coach you up to death. I don't know if you know that recently this guy, Michael Lear, this comic, died. He had ALS, I believe. But you see, he was like a Kill Tony regular. But you see everybody, you know, in the story is R.I.P. and all this other shit. It's like, first of all, where were you when he was asking for people to go fund me because he was going to kill himself months ago because he couldn't afford to live? But now everybody's like, oh, R.I.P., the best comic.
Yeah.
He was the greatest. Like, you didn't fucking know
He
this.
was barely
fucking guy.
He was basically homeless almost. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's situations like that for sure. I definitely saw like people like even like when I started comedy in like Dead Crow in Wilmington, there were people that like a guy that was like homeless in and out, and I was like, yeah, I hope they pay me to do a show. And I've seen him like do moderately well, and I'm like, they're not gonna pay us to do a weekend. They have the same 4 people, and they're just gonna rotate. And it's definitely like a pure bureaucracy. So I just kind of shut up and just enjoy it, have fun, because if I keep pressuring that point, because I think I was talking to you about this, I wanted to be a martyr to like rejection. I wanted to like hear it. I wanted to hear the no and keep moving forward and be stronger and be undeniable. And there's that very what is it, that Sigma grind set mentality is fucking horseshit. But it's good to like get you out of bed in the morning. Same with like the red pill theory, where it like motivates you to get up in the morning and, you know, to talk to women and things like that. All great things. But then the red pill theory trickles down to be like, all right, how can you successfully cheat on your spouse because you make $100K a year? It does it not? Have you seen that shit? Because
Yeah.
like they completely be like, high
I've
value men can
lived
cheat.
it.
Yeah. Well, I've lived it. How have you lived it? Oh. I just, like, he voiced that on me. I was
Not
like,
in public.
oh, okay. Okay, I won't.
Mimolette doesn't share that
Okay, yeah. I'm not trying not to pry, you know. I feel like I've gotten a lot out.
At the end of the day, I'm a soft French orange cheese.
You think so?
Mimolette. I know so.
Well, thank you for being on. Would you like to take a break, you guys? I would like to take a break.
I need to pee.
I as well. All right. Thank you, guys.
You're not gonna sign off.
Thank you guys for listening to Juanon.
Thank
You
you.
guys are awesome. And love is not a psyop.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
hear me
Patreon.com/Juanon.
Imitate Harrison, not Jacob.
Yeah.
Harrison.
Thank you, cheesy girl.
You're welcome.
That was-